You said that this election cycle was not good for the Republicans. Why was that?
There are three problems for the Republicans. The first is a lack of empathy. That the American people did not see Mitt Romney as someone who understood their problems. He could solve them, but he didn't understand them. Number two is that the language wasn't as effective with the Republicans. Barack Obama is one of the best communicators that the world has seen in the last 20 or 30 years. Mitt Romney doesn't connect. The language that he uses isn't nearly as effective. And third, when you have an unemployment rate of 8%, record numbers of people on food stamps or welfare, a sense that the country's moving in the wrong direction, a sense that the challenges haven't been solved. It should be an easy election. It should be simple. It didn't work this time. And I don't think it worked because Mitt Romney was defined before he could define himself. There's a message there for David Cameron, which is that you had better define labor before labor defines you. You may be the incumbent, you may have all the publicity, but you need to let people know the truth about labor before labor delivers their lies on you.
If you were running a government during a time when things are very difficult in the economy and a lot of people are suffering, what kind of language do you use? How do you communicate to indicate that you're doing everything you can to get the economy moving and to address the real pain that people are feeling?
The British economy and the American economy both have a lot in common, but the communication and strategy around it are very different. In America, the focus is on what you can cut. In Britain, there's a lot of pressure to spend. Austerity in Europe has a very negative connotation to it because it suggests hardship. In America, spending and stimulus has a negative connotation because it suggests waste. So you got to start from that different context. But when you're communicating about the economy, again, there are three things that matter. Number one is people need someone to blame, someone to hold accountable. And it is not, you don't spend that much time on it, but you got to talk about why it happened. Number two is that they expect the solutions, and they don't expect political rhetoric. So you've got to tell them what you're going to do, but the third point is you have to tell them the impact of that. And I'll give you the simple equation. Why, therefore, so that. Why is 50%, therefore is 20%, so that is 30%. Half the time you spend talking about the problem, what caused it, so you never let it happen again. Only 20% of the time you talk about the solution, because in the end, the people don't really want to know the details. They just want to know that you got a plan of action. And three, that's the impact, how it's going to change your day-to-day lives, how it changes the economy, how it changes how people experience that economy. And one last point. It is not about economic growth because that's an economic statement. That is a philosophical statement. It's about a healthy economy. Economic growth is something that people at this think tank talk about every day. But for the average person in the country, is there opportunity? Is there a choice of employment? That's a healthy economy. We want healthy schools, we want healthy neighborhoods, we want healthy families. And right now in Britain, we desperately want a healthy economy. Why? Therefore, so that. You do it that way, that's perfect communication.